I'm feeling good, Talib, man. Welcome to call me 3 Letter Man 3, whatever you want to call me.
Yes.
Brooklyn.
All day. I'm streaming live from Brooklyn. Where you at? It looks like you in my crib.
No, I live in Florida now.
Okay, where you at?
But I'm a Brooklyn nigga. I'm from Eastern Parkway, Franklin, Caden Ocean. I'm from all over the place in Brooklyn.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No
Dog, I gotta be honest, man. We share a common friend, you know what I mean? And when I got a text saying that, yo, Talib,
Hold on for a second. Hold that thought.
Yo, okay, no doubt.
All right, what you said?
Now we share a common friend. So when my people's reached out to me, it was like, yo, Talib, want to reach out to? I was like, yo, you don't gotta tell me twice. It's Talib Kweli.
Oh yeah. You talking about Ransom?
Ransom, that's my brother.
Yeah.
Right? I love Ransom. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? My brother, man. Let's go here, man. Talib, because you're not on social media like that, right? Listen, I'm going somewhere with it.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed because I'm a hip hop head, right? I'm 40 plus years, but I've never stopped listening to hip hop. You might have some friends in our age group, right? That might stop listening to rap music. I'm not listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
I've never stopped listening to hip hop at 40 plus years of age, right? Bro, if you didn't tell me that an album coming out, The Confidence of Knowing, I would have not listened to that. And shame on everybody else because, and I'm not saying this because you're here, bro. I listened to the project back to back this morning, and I thoroughly like this project, my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm this is my second album to drop on DSPs this year.
You dropped in January, right?
I dropped we dropped the Liberation 2 on DSPs. It came out on vinyl last year. But I think we're in an era where you and me seem like we from the same time and era. Yes. And in our era, it was CDs and vinyl, and there was a lot more marketing dollars involved in the type of hip hop that we do.
Yes. Tape era, probably. We want the tape era, to be honest, though. Tape era.
Yeah. I grew up with a tape era, but by the time I started, started dropping records, it was the CD.
Right. Got you.
So, you had MTV, BET, all these things, and we were younger back then. You know what I'm saying? I'm approaching 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I'm around the corner, brother.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't get the same level of marketing and the way that even marketing is, if you're not really on the social media like that, even with social media, I'll be honest with you, I've had millions of followers on on MySpace, Instagram, Twitter, all these things. Even someone like myself with millions of followers, when you posting, it don't move the dial in the same way. You know what I'm saying? That if you had the marketing dollars. So I think the onus is on us as artists. I moved into the independent space a number of years ago. And I'm not really a part of the industry as much as I used to be. I'm more like I build industry around myself.
Wow, around yourself. I like that. Yeah. Educate me though. I'm not familiar with the brother J. Rawls.
J. Rawls.
I know about Lou Rawls.
Right. Lou Rawls, Parade of Stars.
But I gotta be honest, man. This brother's production is very dope.
Yes. Shout out to J. Rawls. So on the Black Star album, there's a song called Brown Skin Lady. J. Rawls produced that.
Wow.
Yeah, he produced that record. So that's 25 years ago?
Yes.
And so since then, J. Rawls, he's from Columbus, Ohio. He's been sending me beats since then. So I've had like hundreds of J. Rawls beats in my computer, just collecting dust since we did the Black Star album. But that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he live in Columbus. I tap in when I go see him. And he's a professor at the Ohio State University, PhD in hip hop, very astute academic educated brother, but he also got them tracks,
What is it with you and Ohio producers, sir?
Man, it's a thing, right? It's a thing, I'm tapped in, I think those Ohio Midwest producers, they get the influence of the coast. They get the influence in terms of hip hop, the influence of the West, the influence of the East, but they got that funk, and they get the South, right? If you go to the Midwest, there's a lot of down South music on the radio. Really, down South music on the radio everywhere. Down South been dominating for a long time.
That's a different story.
Yeah, it's been dominating, but like in the Midwest, you got the Midwest funk, and Ozzy Brothers, Boosie. James Brown had King Studios in Cincinnati. Like, there's a certain thing, the things that Dilla was sampling in Detroit. You got Motown. It's like there's a certain thing where, and if you notice, if you think about the West Coast sound, it's Dayton, Ohio. It's Roger and it's the funk sound.
Right.
Man, so it's like there's something about the Midwest. They know that boom bap, but they know that music.
That G-Funk kind of style, right?
Yeah.
So you dropped this project September 13th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you care about promotion, or you just dropped it? I gotta ask that question though, because if you didn't
right. So I'll be honest with you.
Before you go, I'm tweeting your music this morning and taking up songs on it and pasting on Twitter this morning.
Yeah.
And it's like 3. I didn't even know Talib about an album. I'm good looking out.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, we did Jimmy Fallon last night, so that was a big
fire.
Big look. The first video we dropped for the project is called Native Sons, and it's a dedication to the Native Tongues Collective.
De La Tribe, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Now that video is moving. We dropped it a couple weeks ago. I think it's at like 700,000 views right now. You know what I'm saying? So we finding the fan base, but this is where I would encourage people to be conscious consumers. Okay. We talk a lot about how we want to hear different music on the radio. We want to see different TV shows. We want entertainment that really speaks to our community. But a lot of times we don't actually go out and look for that, and we don't support it with our dollars when we see it. We talk as a community. I'm talking about all of us. Me too.
Right.
We talk as a community about what we want to see, but we don't. A lot of us are just busy living our lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't support in that way. Now, this is not a plea for people to support me, because I'm good. Like I'm gonna do what I do. I do the music because I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm way past the point in my career where I'm like, go click like and subscribe and come on, buy my things. I'm not, either you like it or you don't at this point. Right. But I do know the onus is on me as an artist to get it out there in front of you. So, I put it out on YouTube. I put it out on, we do the shows, we do the Jimmy Fallons and all that. Yeah. And I was on social media heavy, you know what I'm saying? But even when I was on social media heavy, before I got kicked off of some of those platforms, even when I was promoting my music, it's hard for me because I would still do the social justice stuff. And it's like, if you trying to do social justice stuff and promote music, the algorithm does not reward you. The algorithm wants you to just be like tap dancing. They don't want you to talk about nothing real. So if you try to do that, the way that your views and the way that the eyeballs and the ears that you get put in front of decrease.
Talib, you said something about social justice a second ago, right? On the song "We Outside," you speak about policies, immigration officers, Republicans, their daughters, and everything like that. Are you a social justice warrior? Because you said that, but you can see yourself that, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. From the outside looking in, I would.
I'm absolutely a social justice warrior. What they call it, SJW. Yes. They're not even being slick with it. There's a movement in this world, and it's a right-wing based movement to get us as a people, as a nation, as a community, to be less compassionate, to be less tolerant of people's differences, to be more insular, to circle the wagons and to be less trusting, to be more suspicious. Right. And social justice is standing up for justice of the people. The people who have the least of us are the ones we need to stand up for the most. That's essentially the concept of it. And the weaponization of the term SJW as if it's a bad thing, it's really terrible. You got to be suspect of the people who fall for that. What do you stand up for injustice? What do you have against being for social justice? The people that we claim to love as a community, whether you more of a Martin Luther King or more of a Malcolm X, whether you more of a Sojourner Truth, whether you more of a Angela Davis, you know what I'm saying? These people are social justice warriors. They are warriors. They fought for the social justice. They didn't lie down. They spoke up, and they were threats to the society. We have to take these terms back. I say on that song, why are you trying to be a voluntary immigration officer? There's so much talk in our community about where the music came from and who started this and what about the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans. It all comes from Africa, first of all. You know what I'm saying? So they got us as Africans who were kidnapped and brought to this place arguing over scraps. They got us arguing over who started what and who started that. Regardless of what point you make, and none of that means anything. It's all distraction. Power and numbers. The real enemy is not an immigrant. There's no immigrants oppressing you. There's no immigrants taking your rights away from you. The real enemy is the white supremacist system that got black people and immigrants and gay people and all these type of communities fighting, feminist, versus all these communities fighting amongst each other. And when I'm speaking specifically about black people, because we have a unique situation in our community as Black people.
Yes.
All those groups I just named, feminists, immigrants, gay people, all these groups that they got us fighting against, there's Black people in them groups. So they got you.
Each one of them is a Black person. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's if you fighting feminists, you fighting Black people because it's Black feminists. You're fighting Black. They're Black gay people. They're Black immigrants who support us, and there's Black immigrants who don't. But we have to fight together. Like this whole division, man, it's so terrible what's happening right now. And I try to use my music, particularly that song, to speak about it. Matter of fact, I'm about to head as soon as I get off the line with you. I'm headed to Best Time to shoot a video for that song.
For We Outside?
Yeah.
And I like that because it's a different we outside. The young folks say we outside.
Yeah.
That is outside. Black people on some like Million Man March type thing.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Not just Tri-State. He came up with that hook. His bars is immaculate on that.
Yes. Oh, that was J. Ross rapping on that? Because
that was Tri-State.
Well, that was Tri-State. Okay.
That was Tri-State. Yeah. J. Rawls, man. Shout out to J. Rawls. He also did the Liquid Crystal Project, Lone Catalyst Project. He got an album with my man John Robinson. It's JR. He dropped a house album at the beginning of the summer. He's very prolific.
The first video you did, I think, was for Breathe Eyes, the memory song, right?
Yeah, Breath Eyes Memory. Yeah.
Right. What made you do that song first, though? Mind me asking.
That's actually the second one. Native Song first.
It was the first song, right?
But Breath Eyes Memory is the title of a book by an author named Edwidge Dandicat. She's Haitian, Brooklyn author. I used to have the bookstore, and she was one of the people that I met when I was had in Cuba Books on St. Mark's and Flatbush. And that book really touched me. It's a literary classic. I would encourage people, if you're into reading, to go get that book. But that song is deep for me because that's one of the first songs that I wrote after I was kicked off of Instagram. And so there's a lot of things that I'm saying on that song that I'm just addressing my mind state about that. And it's like, just understanding like I don't want to be no place where I'm not welcome. So I'm not at all like I'm more amused by what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I think people are so caught up in the algorithm and so caught up in social media that if you're not online, you don't exist.
You're right. Absolutely.
And so that's why I said, okay, this song is my therapy. I'm very much alive.
Because in the video, you're on the couch chilling like you're getting therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. The music is a therapy. I mean, we all have mental health challenges in our community, particularly as we get older, particularly Black men. We need to tap in with that more often. I have never actually been to a therapist, right? So, I can't speak on it with any knowledge. But I encourage people, if they feel the need, if they're going through something, to do it. There's people in my life who have been to therapy and it's been helpful for them. And for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, the music has been enough. I don't know. I haven't been through therapy to know, but how I feel inside is that the music has been enough therapy for me. I feel like part of the reason why I haven't felt the need to go to therapy and why I'm able to function without it is because of the music. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to.
I felt that last bar you said. I felt to my core. Yes, a lot of things in my life, music has been my therapy. It's my escape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
On the Native Son song, right? That Tribe Called Quest mural, I would think that was in Queens, right?
Yes, it was.
Wow. I haven't been to New York in a couple of years. Well, last year I've been in New York. I haven't been to Queens in a long time.
Rest in peace to Fife Dog.
Rest in peace, Fife Dog.
That was on 192 in Queens, where Fife and them and Q-Tip, shout out to Q-Tip and them, where they grew up at. And Q-Tip was very inspirational for that song in particular. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in that song that Q-Tip gave me good advice on, and he was very integral in helping me fashion that song. And God bless him, man. He the OG, and God bless him.
What do you think about Q-Tip doing LL's whole project though? LL and Q-Tip.
Man, listen, I've been feeling like I've been hearing over the years these records from going to visit Q-Tip. So I've known about these records for a long time, and I felt like it was an urban secret, urban legend that I had to keep secret. And so now I'm finally happy that I could talk about how good LL sounds with Eminem, and how LL is on his God Body rhymes on this, and how LL is on his social justice, Black Vigilante. I love it.
Are you gonna kill me if I say this though? I thought respectfully, I love Q-Tip as a producer. I love him. Drink Away the Pain for Mobb Deep, One Love for Nas. Right. Q-Tip catalog is weak as a producer.
He's foundational. He's foundational.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think some of the rhymes LL and the beats that Q-Tip had kind of like.
It wasn't here. You wasn't feeling it all like that. That's okay.
The bars were there though. The bars.
Yeah. Music is subjective. I feel like, and I don't know. I'm not a producer. Maybe the producers can speak more to this.
I'm surprised you're not a producer though, because how intelligent you are and how your mind.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. I have production credits. I have good ideas sometimes, but I don't know I'm not technical. I don't know the machines. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, loop this, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like from what I've heard, he didn't rely on samples a lot. There's on that album, there's a lot of beats where he's playing. And I feel like this was Q-Tip getting a chance to really show his musical chops as far as playing. So I feel like with us, the generation we're from, your ear is missing that sample-based vibe that you know from that Tribe sound. Right. And if you listen to that album, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, and the Love Movement, you start to hear Q-Tip playing more. You start that LL album sounds like beats on the Beats, Rhymes, and Life when they stopped sampling as much and started really trying to play. And I feel like that's maybe what you responded to.
All right, better Tribe album, Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders?
That's an excellent question. Okay. And I'm gonna follow up with a question to chapter 2 next. Okay. I really feel like it depends on your state of mind. I feel like if aliens, this is how I feel. If aliens came down to Earth and they said, "What's the best Tribe Called Quest album?" I would, and they never heard of hip hop. They know nothing about it. I would play them Midnight Marauders.
I would. Midnight Marauders? You would?
Midnight Marauders. I'm saying, now listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the aliens, they never been on Earth. They have no context. They never heard hip hop. They don't know the soil, the roots. Midnight Marauders is such an immaculate, well put together project, and I feel like that transcends the genre of hip hop. You don't gotta know hip hop to understand why that album's dope. You don't have to have been outside to understand at that time to get that album. It's a certain the pop is the wrong word, but there's a certain inviting vibe musically. It's like world music on that. Low End Theory is more it's more of a acquired taste. Your palate has to be more developed. You have to know more.
Check the rhyme, Talib, scenario, excursion.
Yeah. You have to. I feel like you gotta be more tapped in. But what you just said, those songs are deep cuts.
Yes.
I don't feel like those songs is made for everybody. I feel like those songs are made for us.
Okay. Right.
I feel like Midnight Marauders is more broad.
I agree. Award Tour. So I would agree with you. Award Tour was more broad than Check the Rhyme because they're the first singles off each album.
We on the name of the song is Award Tour.
Self-explanatory.
We going all around the world with Muhammad, my man.
My man, right?
Self-explanatory. With the first album was Queens. The first album was New York. The beats, those clubs in New York at the time, the Red Zone, the Muse, all them clubs popping, all that at that time. That's where they was at. You know, Native Tongues was popping. Daylight, Jungle Brothers. They was trying to prove themselves to New York City. They was trying to prove themselves to Jungle Brothers and to Daylight. Then they achieved worldwide success doing that. So now that album took them on tour. Well, now we see in Japan and we see in London and we see in all these places, and the influence of the world you hear on the next album. Now it's more expansive. So let me ask you which one is better? Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, or Main Ingredient?
Mecca and the Soul Brother.
But you know that's a controversial take.
You know what though? It's like Nas. It was Nas Illmatic. Nas. It was written. To me, in all due respect to the God Nas here, that's not a comparison. Illmatic is one of the best albums made in music. Period. That shit is better than a lot of just other music besides hip hop. Like Illmatic is like almost a ringer. But you're a hip hop head though. You see the general, I feel like through the years, the general consensus, people trying to say it was written was over Illmatic.
Nah, whoever says that is tripping. I don't think Nas would agree with that.
You think Nas would agree with that?
Nah, I don't think Nas would agree with that. Okay. You know, I think Lost Tapes was better than It Was Written.
Well, slow down, Talib.
I like Hip Hop Is Dead, and I like that work.
I gave you power.
There was
Suspects. Oh,
yeah. It was written. It was written as a big. It's a big album.
Yes, it's a big album.
It might be too big for me. I like the more stripped down. That's why I like Lost Tapes.
Okay,
because it's more like
I love Lost Tapes though. All right, how about Ghostface, Iron Man, Supreme Clientele? It could be.
Ooh. I don't know. Yeah.
That's a toss-up. How you feeling that day, right?
Yeah, because Ghost had a 4-album run that's just untouchable, and it's not like he's done. He's still coming with it, but it was a certain 4-album run. Right. It started with Iron Man. It just was like, God damn.
Redman too. I thought Redman had a fire 3 album run.
Yeah, Redman when by the time Muddy Waters came out, like it started with the first one, and then by the time Muddy Waters came out, that run was Redman. You couldn't tell me nothing about Redman at that time. I'm like, yo, that's the best rapper out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But to go back to you though, Native song, would you do a remix?
That's crazy. We working on a remix right now.
You know, Latifah rapped on Rhapsody's album. She dropped a fire verse a couple of years ago on Rhapsody's album.
Shout out to Queen Latifah. I got a project I'm working on right now that with Large Professor that Latifah's a part of.
Yo, you Large Pro?
That's my next album, me Large Professor. Yeah. I
think Large Professor is one of the most underrated producers of all time. And there's a list.
I agree that he's underrated, and I think that he's man, he's so inspiring to me as a human being. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like just the whole way he approaches hip hop, like he's as pure as you can get when it comes to this hip hop.
Like him, I like hearing him talk. I'm watching my Seals. I can't wait to see Seals Smooth on Drink Champs in a couple of days. I like hearing y'all brothers, talking everything about you. Listen, you Latifah, Moni Love. We can get the Native song remix.
Shout out to Moni Love.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speak to me about On the Side of the Ghetto.
The Ghetto is a song. So J Rawls, what's interesting about that? J Rawls, that beat is made on an ASR 10, which is the same machine that RZA used to use back in the day when you see the Wu-Tang show and he got the ASR. Mm-hmm. And J Rawls made that brown skin lady on ASR, and he's kind of been like really one of the best producers to ever work on the ASR. Now he doesn't work on that machine anymore. I'm not a producer. So any producers who's watching this could correct me. I feel like that machine might be a little bit antiquated and people don't use it as much. But Rawls made that. Remember I said I've been collecting these Rawls beats for 10 years?
You did say that. Yes.
That beat, he sent me that beat like 2010, right? And I didn't really hear it until this year. We started working on this album in March. So I was listening to that beat and I recorded a song to it. I sent it to him. He said, man, I already sold that beat. I sold that beat to this group called The Regimen 10 years ago. They put out a song called The Ghetto or something. They put out a song and I went and listened to it. The song was dope, super dope. It was a hammers and nails, guns and butter. Hammers and nails, guns and butter in the hammers and nails, guns and butter in the, and it was over that raw speed. And I'm like, okay. It was super dope.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't hear about it. It's not like that song was like really, really had a lot of streams. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it over, but I'm going to do it as a tribute to what they did. So if you listen to the beginning of mine, it says, this is a reimagination, a reworking of The Regimen. Because I want to big them up because they had to beat first. And so we had the song, but J Rawls, he had fell out of touch with them. And so we didn't know. I was like, yo, we should let them know that we trying to do this before we put it out. Okay. And then shout out to the crew of Fat Beats because they actually got us in touch with, we putting this album out in conjunction with Fat Beats. And they got us in touch with the Regimen dudes and they gave us our blessing, man. I've never met these dudes, but they gave us our blessing to rework their record with J Rawls.
How did you link up with Coast Nostra? I like those brothers, man. I like their energy, man. I love the beat. They give you that old school vibe, though, man.
Yeah, the coast to coast.
Even the ad-libs they were doing when you were rapping, I loved it.
Yeah. I met Taj and Raz, who's the Razcast sons, the twins, who are the foundation of Coast Contra, right?
Come on, Razcast kids.
That's Razcast and Teacher Moses, the singer. That's Razcast and Teacher Moses' children.
Oh, I'm old as hell.
Right? I met them two brothers, they twins. So I met them at South by Southwest like 10 years ago. They was teenagers. They was kids. They ran up on me like, yo, we Razcast kids, we rap, this and that. And so I've known them since they was little.
Wow.
And so they formed Coast Contra, and they started getting shout out to Los and Eric, the other two dudes in the group. They started getting with their style and their little videos they was doing. They started getting a lot of viral love.
Yes, yes.
And I had them on my podcast, People's Party Podcast, like 2 years ago, and I stayed in touch with them. And me and Rawls, my deal with Fat Beats was to do the Large Professor album. But me and Rawls, we're working with this artist named Solene Velvet, who's on the album with us.
Yeah, she got a couple joints on there. Right.
And I was Rawls was sending me beats for Solene. And I liked the beat so much. I was like, let's just throw out a project, me and you, before this Large Professor, just to whet the appetite. And I was like, if you had a wish list of who you want to have on the project, send me your wish list. And Georgia Ann Muldrow was on it, and she ended up on the project. And Jametta Rose, she ended up on the project. Buckshot, he was on the wish list. He ended up on the project. And he said Coast Contra. And I said, wow, okay, if I do a song with Coast Contra, what does that feel like? There's already 4 niggas rapping. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that feel like? And I was
you get 8 bars, you get 8 bars.
We didn't do 8 bars. We all did
right
16s. We just there's 5 16s on that record, and it goes by quick.
It does go by mad quick though. You think about it, though, man. You said I don't have any friends in this business. I only trust a few.
Yeah, that's a lesson I learned the hard way.
Really?
I learned that the hard way. Yeah.
Wow. With the Kanye, can I say Kanye thing, or is it more than that?
Yeah, I mean, that lyric was not about Kanye, but I mean, I could see how Kanye. I would. There's a lot.
My man was like, he's talking about Kanye, son. I was like,
Kanye gets in his own way. Anything that between me and Kanye has a lot more to do with what Kanye's going through on his own. It's not really have anything to do with me. But I'll say this: when it comes to hip hop, I'm a romantic. I really cherish this and I love this. And I came into the game mistakenly thinking that if somebody likes the same beats and rhymes that you like, if somebody likes the same rappers that you like, if somebody likes the same clothes and is influenced by the same thing, that means that y'all share the same morals and values. And you go to the clubs, you out there at these events, and you out in the world, like everybody fam, and you dapping everybody up, and you give everybody a hug, and you see somebody in the club, you're like, that's my man's. You know what I'm saying? And we all love hip hop, right? But at the end of the day, when you grow up and you've been in this for as long as I've been, and you realize just because a nigga like hip hop don't make him a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type who always reached out and try to form community around I'm doing. And I've been burnt that way. And it's been hard. So as I got older, I had to learn how to be more like, you know what? These people out here, this is industry. These are acquaintances. These people don't really care. And a lot of them is cheering for your downfall. You know what I'm saying? So it's about, that sounds obvious, right? That sounds like you should know that going in.
Right.
But I love the music so much that I went into it thinking like, one for all for one. We all in it together. Y'all come on. Hooray.
Brand Nubians.
Hooray. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like
one for all brand Nubians.
One for all brand Nubians. It's not like that. Everybody is cutthroat. And they don't care about you or they don't care about you. And I'll say that.
Listen, 51 said, these industry niggas ain't friends. You let them pretend. It's just
50 came into it with a hustler mentality. He came into it with like a shark mentality. Like 50 is such a hustler. It's almost like it's not good enough for him it's not good enough for him to win. You need to lose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can't all win. Like I'm the only winner chicken dinner. You know what I'm saying? And that's a street mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like which I have respect for. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like that's not how I approached it. And for better or for worse, right? Because there's things that I'm sure that happen in 50's lane where if he didn't have that mentality, it would be better for him. And there's things that happen in my lane that if I didn't have this mentality, would be better for me. You know, it's all different ways to look at it.
So stay with 50 right quick. How did you feel during the mixtape era when he rapped over a lot of your beats?
He did rap over a lot.
A lot.
He did. 50 when Double XL did the 50th issue of Double XL, they had 50 Cent as guest editor. This must have been 2005 or so.
Okay.
And they said you could interview anybody you want and do an interview. And he interviewed me. And that was surprising. I knew he had rapped on the beats, but he was fascinated with what I was doing as an MC. You know, and I think at that point in his career,
he liked the pen niggas. He liked the niggas. He niggas. He does. He loved he picks up Karen Rushman all the time. His favorite rapper.
Now 50, there's certain dudes in this who are rich,
Yes.
Jay, 50, Nas, who still really about the LL Cool J, who really about the culture, and they understand that it all start with that pen. They respect that.
When Hope said, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense.
Yeah, he was telling you. Hope was telling you that you know what, making at that point in his life, because it changed a little bit. At that point in his life, making money is more important than the art for me, right? And somebody coming out of Marcy Projects, coming out of a hard Scrabble situation, how could you can't judge that? Now, when he made the money, when he became a billionaire, now he dressed like John Michel Basquiat and he do art shit, and you know what I'm saying? He's artsy. He wears a sweater over his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very comfortable. And his rhymes, ever since 444, have gotten. I always said Jay-Z sound like how I used to sound in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like now, he sound like now that he got the money, and that was his strategy. He said, "I'm trying to get these dollars first, so I can help the people. Once I'm all the way up, now I get to rap. Now you hear me with this God body rap stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like conscious.
Yes.
Every gangster rapper, every street rapper turns conscious if they make it past 40.
Wow.
That's real talk. Yeah. Because the other stuff ain't sustainable. You die or go to jail, or no one believes you anymore. That's what happens.
You see, and at the balance.
Hold on, y'all pretty loud over there. Y'all loud as fuck. They so loud they don't even hear me. Hold on. No, y'all mad loud. You. I'm sorry.
Well, you good, brother. You good. Let me ask you about Hov real quick. What do you think about this Lil Wayne Jay-Z thing, Super Bowl thing?
I saw there's something that popped up on my feed that I didn't click on yet, and I can't trust these internet bloggers because they be putting these headlines, and I don't know if the headline is actually what it was, but the headline was Lil Wayne is hurt by the Super Bowl. I don't know if he actually said that. Did he? Maybe I should Google it while I'm sitting here with you right now.
No, he did. Now, I will say this. He put something out last night on Instagram, and I can quote because I did a blog on it, and I can say.
What did he actually say?
Some of the quotes he said was, he's saying, thank you for... he blames himself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown, and it made him feel like shit. He's not getting an opportunity to go in there, basically. You know what I mean? He says it broke him, and he's trying to put himself back together.
Okay. All right. So I have a lot of thoughts about this.
All right.
Because I have a lot of respect for Jay-Z and Kendrick and Wayne and everybody involved, and Drake and Birdman, everybody who's been speaking on it. Nicki, a lot of respect for all these people. And you know, the whole way Jay-Z got involved with the NFL, it's controversial, you know, the Colin Kaepernick thing. And I don't follow sports, but you know, I follow the culture.
Okay.
Lil Wayne is, first of all, he's a GOAT. He's incredible. He's an icon.
Yes.
There's things that Lil Wayne did, there's heights that he reached for him being where he's from and for how young he was, that we have to just respect.
Yes.
Right. Lil Wayne, he's brilliant. I saw quotes of his last year where he said something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, I hope that I do well enough this year, or I do good enough this year. I hope that I have a good enough year, or something like that, to where I'm considered for the Super Bowl. Right? So right there, even before it's decided, he's already letting y'all know they may not pick me. You know what I'm saying? I understand what it's based on. It's not just based on the fact that it's in New Orleans and the fact that I'm me and I'm the GOAT that I am. There's other factors. I have to do well enough to I have to have the year to be considered. Right? So go into it knowing that.
Right.
Then I saw a video, I don't know when this video is from, of Lil Wayne on stage, and he's talking about Jay-Z. And he said, Jay-Z is one of my best friends. And he said, Jay-Z don't want you to know this, but Jay-Z helped me with the IRS and my taxes. That's a real friend. So we don't have, none of us are privy to the conversations that Jay-Z and Lil Wayne have.
Right.
I'm sorry. That relationship is between them. If I'm to trust and believe Lil Wayne, then I'm to trust and believe that Jay-Z had Lil Wayne's back in a pinch, and Jay-Z had Lil Wayne's, you know, I don't believe personally that Jay-Z or the NFL owes Lil Wayne anything. I don't think Lil Wayne believes that, which is why he's taking personal responsibility from what you just read me. He said, I didn't prepare myself. He didn't say, fuck these people, they wrong. He said, I didn't prepare myself. That's self-accountability, accountability. So he's very smart for that. With that, I will say this, and I want to be clear with my words here.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can't see Kendrick doing some of those bars from Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? I could see him coming out with the marching band and playing the tune and maybe doing the hook, but I can't see him calling Drake a pedophile in front of all those people in front of a global.
All that,
I can't see this. I can't see anybody. I could be wrong. Kendrick Lamar is scrappy. You know what I'm saying? He's a very scrappy individual. He might want to do that, but I don't know. I can't see it. There's a lot of Lil Wayne lyrics that I feel like would be tough and hard and subject matter to pull off in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now, there is precedent set. You did have Dr. Dre. You did have Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. Their lyrics is very, gangster and violent and all that, and they were able to do that. So I know people would immediately be like, well, they had these people. But Lil Wayne, I'm saying as a Lil Wayne fan, his lyrics is even deeper. You know what I'm saying? This is what I would like to see, and this is what I hope happens, and this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I think that regardless where the culture is going to shift to from now to February when it happens is we going to see Lil Wayne on that stage. I feel like we going to see it. I feel like all this is I don't know if they know how it's going to happen, but I feel like ain't no way. Kendrick Lamar has so much respect for the culture, has so much respect for Lil Wayne, that I don't see Kendrick Lamar going to New Orleans and not trying to figure out how to get Wayne on that stage.
Because of the uproar, and people are feeling some type of way.
I feel like even before there was an uproar.
Okay.
I feel like there's no way, because if you look at the way the Super Bowl has been, especially with the Dr. Dre thing, they find space for everybody. Yes. Somehow, Game was mad about that, or Game was purportedly, allegedly mad about that because they were like, it was like, how you have all these people and not have the game? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't see them coming to New Orleans and not doing back that thing up. They gotta do back that thing up. They can't do back that ass up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see them
really go DJ, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know which of those Wayne records is the biggest one that's going to get the biggest reaction, like 6 foot, 7 foot, maybe. I don't know. But, Back That Ass Up is a cultural phenomenon. That's the national anthem for New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So
that's more juvenile, right? Is that juvenile?
Yeah, it's Hot Boys. But Lil Wayne, what's the record? The Bling Bling. And like, it's certain.
Yeah, first, I guess you can tap into.
They gotta do that. They gotta figure out how to make that. And I don't know if it's reconciling with Drake or Drake doesn't care or no one cares at that point. I don't know how they're gonna figure it out. But we gotta see that. We gotta see Kendrick Lamar bring Lil Wayne out.
Let me ask you to stay on Kendrick and Drake right quick, right? So you and I from the same era. We've seen KRS-One, MC Shan, down to Jay, Nas, and whatever, right? Have we ever seen anything like this?
I'm glad you brought up KRS-One and Shan because people forget about that. And people forget about how integral that was and how crazy that was. And KRS and Shan was Kendrick and Drake. And it was confined to a tri-state area and then people who cared outside of the New York area. But it was really that big. You know how you have to shift everything for scale? If you shift it for scale, KRS and MC Shan is the only thing that compares to what we're having now. Now, the reason why you have to shift it for scales because they're playing a global game. They're bringing in Lucien Grange and all these type people names into it. Like we're talking about billions and billions of streams. We're talking about Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like this is another level of it. And it's like where was I recently? I was in Jamaica. No, not Jamaica. Where was I? Man, I was in some sort of small country recently. And the cab driver turned around to me. He couldn't speak English. And he was like, he started asking me about Kendrick and Drake. And I could tell he didn't listen to hip hop. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? God bless both of them because if, regardless of who the winner or the loser is, this is the big stage and the stakes is really high and they playing at a high level. So in order to play at that high level, you had to get to that high level.
Now you're an MC's MC now, right? I want you to be honest with me. How did you feel about Cole bowing? Let me just give you context how I feel. Yeah. I thought within the last 2 years that Cole, if you want to do the rating game, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, you want to do the big three, Kendrick, Cole, and Drake, right? I thought Cole was kind of top dog if I had to play the pecking order of the game, right?
Right.
I thought he just bowed. I'm like, Cole, you talk about you the nicest dude. You beating MCs. I always want to know like how you felt. Most Def, Pharoah Monch, like Nas. I want to know the niggas that rap, the rappers, the MCs to the core. How y'all feel about that?
Hip hop is fun. The competition is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Drake said something at the Grammys a couple years ago that I really liked.
Okay.
And I'm paraphrasing, but he talked about how he had won some award, and he was like, "This award doesn't mean anything. It's not an actual metric." And he said something about art is from the heart, and it's us expressing ourselves. We're not athletes, so to put us in competition with one another actually doesn't serve the art.
Okay.
He was right about that. He doesn't always follow his own advice. He's very competitive. 2 years later, he's, participating in a very competitive situation.
Yes.
But we have moments of clarity, and we have moments of hubris, and we have valleys and peaks. We have moments when we're feeling ourselves, and we're feeling like we're the best ever, and we have moments where we're more like, more serene and more humble in our presence. And I think at the Grammys that Drake was in a humble moment, and I think now he's not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that so with that said, as fun as this is, and I noticed with you, one of the things that made me want to be on here is because I respect battle rap so much, and I noticed that you have a focus on battle rap, and battle rap is really the fuel of the fire that burns our culture bright.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why people like Drake and Remy Ma and Busta Rhymes and Method Man and certain artists are tapped into battle rap. I'm not tapped into it as much as these other artists, but I have a huge respect for it. As fun as that is, there's so much more in the world to be focused on. There's man shit. You know what I'm saying? There's man shit. And what J. Cole did was some man shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we all like to pound our chests and our ego, and hip hop is fun. It's like our sport. That's why Drake had to be like, we not athletes. He had to remind us. But at the end of the day, all that bragging about yourself, I'm better than the next man, all that is not good on your spirit. You have to know how to separate that from who you actually are as a human being.
Okay.
And so what J. Cole did was he did what a man is supposed to do. He self-corrected. J. Cole loves Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole loves Drake. He didn't want no parts of this. J. Cole, when they first came out, they were supposed to have an album together. It didn't happen because they both went on their respective paths. But they did do a couple records together that had made their way to the internet. But J. Cole and Kendrick, they get along. They squads get along. There's no issues. When J. Cole said that lyric, he wasn't dissing Kendrick. He was bigging Kendrick up. The big three, he's like, J. Cole was community based. J. Cole be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He don't be, regardless of what his lyrics say, his lyrics have you think he on the hose all the time. He's not. He's a family man. You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to say with the big three lyric, we're all in this together. A rising tide uplifts all boats. Let's lift all boats. Kendrick didn't feel that way from my perspective. Kendrick, like I said, is scrappy. He's like, hey, don't say my name. I'm not, it's me. Nope. Now, I don't take what Kendrick did as a diss either. That's just how he felt. I don't feel like he was dissing Drake or.
After Big Three, it's just me?
I don't think that was a diss because you got to look at who that man is. That man already on Control named everybody names. And he said, if I say your name, it's because I respect you. That's what he's saying. On Control, he wasn't dissing anybody. He's just like, Kendrick is scrappy and he's in your face. He's like, I'm going to say your name. On one of his first records, back before he got signed, he had a record, Ignorance is Bliss. And the last lyric in the record is, so if you try to compare me to Common and Kweli, ignorance is bliss. Now, a weaker man would have taken that as a diss. I took that as a big up because the point of he was making at the record was, just because I'm not what you think a gangster is, just because I'm not what you think a rapper from Compton is, just because you qualify me as whatever you think Conscious is, don't get it fucked up. At that time, me and Common were the poster boys for conscious rap. So it wasn't personal. It was like this, what you think that is, that Common Quality shit, I'm not that. You shouldn't be that. That's my shit. Be Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I ain't take it as a diss.
So hold on. When he said that bar, was that before you guys linked up? Because you guys have got a song together. I remember
that was. I met him before he said that bar.
Okay,
I met him as K-Dot.
Okay,
and then he said that bar, and then we linked up again, and we did the song.
So stay with me right quick. If you guys didn't link up before that bar, would you take that as an insult because you got to build with him a little bit?
Nah, because Kendrick was so in the pocket. He was doing all the right things.
Okay.
Whether I knew him or not, I took that bar as a big up.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I took that bar as a big up. I once did a song with Saigon.
Saigon.
Yeah, Saigon came to the studio and we're doing the record. I called him and I never met him. I invited him to the studio and he came to the record. And halfway through the session, he's like, I gotta be honest, bro. I dissed you in a magazine and I feel real bad about it. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I was in Murder Dog. Remember Murder Dog magazine?
Yeah, Murder Dog magazine.
He said I had an interview in Murder Dog.
Short stint.
Yeah, he was like, I said something about you, and then I apologized because then you reached out to me after like it wasn't nothing, and I'm like, well, I didn't see it, so let's just get this song. It wasn't the internet back then. You couldn't Google. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let's just get this song. Then the next morning, I woke up and ran down to the newsstand. Remember they had a newsstand with magazines.
Word Up magazine.
Word Up, right on, all that. I bought that Murder Dog. Went right to the page, looking for my name. And what he said was, he essentially said the same thing Kendrick said. What he said was, he was like, I'm not on that shit. I'm not on that conscious shit. I'm not on that quality, that Talib quality type shit. That's not a diss. It may be a harsh way to put it, but if you're not on that shit, you're not on that shit.
Right?
And so back to J. Cole. J. Cole was never on that shit, right? So when Kendrick made that record, if you listen carefully to what, first of all, the first red flag is he picked 2 different beats, which tells you what? You were unsure, my nigga. You knew in your heart of hearts you shouldn't be doing this. Because you couldn't even choose which beat. Is it the more Conductor Williams hip hop joint, or is it the more trap drill, whatever? Right. He couldn't decide, so he's like, I'm gonna do both. Right. And if you listen to the lyrics in that diss record, he says, people kept calling me. He says that several times.
He did say that.
What's happening is you are succumbing to pressure, which means this is not a genuine thing. This was not in your heart. This art. Listen, a lot of rappers have pissed me off in the last couple of years. A lot of rappers have been disrespectful, and they give me fuel. I've written a lot of diss records. I've had
like KRS-One. You got diss tracks on the cut.
I had the cut, but that's not the vibration I need to be on. It's my therapy, right? Once I write the diss record and I send it to my friends in the group chat, and all my friends have a little chuckle, that's what I need, bro. And then what I do is I retool it,
right,
and make it a record about something bigger and something more uplifting. But I got it. So I think what happened was whatever feelings he was feeling, he had to get that out, but he wasn't supposed to let the world hear that. And so he let the society, he says that, not only did he say that in the song, he said that in his apology. I let the society tell me I had to diss Kendrick.
Yes.
I don't want to diss Kendrick. It's not what I want to do. So if you a man and you let the society change you and tell you have to move in a way that you knew you shouldn't have been moving in, then what's the man thing to do is to stand up and own it.
Yeah, facts.
And he owned it in front of his audience at Dreamville, and he said all the right words. He said, I love Kendrick. He said, I didn't want to do this. He said, I knew I shouldn't be doing this. He said, as soon as I put it out, I felt bad. That's real. I salute J. Cole for that, because more people need to do that. If more people took accountability for the dumb, stupid ass decisions they make when they're in their feelings, when they get emotional, then the world would be a better place. He was in his feelings. He got emotional and he acknowledged it and he self-corrected. And now he looks like a genius. Because now he looks like you avoided all that smoke and you avoided all that drama, and now you could be peaceful.
Wow. So that's dope, my brother.
Yes.
Let's get back to your project here, man. Yo, my man, I ain't gonna lie. When I got the Turnstile joint with Sky Zoo and Buckshot,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say it gave me Crooklyn Dodgers vibes back in the day with
Oh,
I don't want to talk
about that. Oh, it's the return of the Crooklyn Dodgers part, whatever they own.
Part three. I think it's
part 3. Oh, I need to hit up J. Rue and them. Oh, that's what that is. I never thought I need to hit Sky Zoo right now and tell him that. Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Yes. How did this joint come together, man? It's all Brooklyn, though. I love it, though. I love it. So Turnstile, you from Brooklyn. You got, listen, you jump the Turnstiles to the shorty. We come from that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you paid to get on a train back in the day, you was looked at suspect. Like, you paying. It's free.
Junior high school and all that.
It's free. All the lady could do is pay your fare.
That's it.
She's not licensed to do nothing else. So that's, anyway. Shout out to all of us who took advantage of the transit system. And hopping the train is really a part of my story. I didn't have money to pay for tokens. Right. The fact that I was able to hop the train is why I was able to live a hip hop life. I was able to go to the village and go to the events and travel to different boroughs and battle and rhyme.
Did you go to Mad Wednesdays and all that? Were you?
Maria Davis?
Yeah, Maria Davis.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was at Esso's, Mad Wednesdays. Yeah. That's where they got their Jay-Z skit.
Yes.
From the freezer. But yeah, that record, that beat is one of those old J. Rawls beats from 10 years ago. That's why it feels like that. That's an old beat.
I can see that. Yeah.
The inspiration for me was even my first lyric is from Sadat X. Don't front Sadat X Diamond D. You know the shit is real, so don't front, Jack. You know,
and you show Buckshot love also in your verse also. When you said love for Brooklyn and home of the original gun.
Home of the original gun. Me and Jay Rawls posted up like a thumbtack, and it's like on Nostra Nav with a Dutch Master broke in half. Yeah, all that's real. Jay Rawls don't smoke no Dutch Masters. He wasn't chilling with us on Nostra Avenue. So that's a little. I embellished a little bit, but I had to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a real thing. You know. So shout out to Crown Heights. And when Jay Rawls said, I want Buckshot on the album, I'm like, the song I'm talking about, Crown Heights, I got to put Buckshot on that song. And then I toured, shout out to my man, Landon, Landon Wordswell. He booked a tour for me and Skyzoo. So this summer I toured with Skyzoo, and I'm playing Skyzoo the album. He's like, yo, you need to let me jump on this. And I'm like, the album was already chock full of guests at that point. Skyzoo did his verse. That was the last verse I got for the album. He did it that night in the hotel room. But I was like, okay, if what song he gonna be on, it's the Brooklyn one. Skyzoo paints beautiful cinematic Spike Lee pictures of the borough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he rap Brooklyn heavy though, man.
So that record made sense.
Yes, man. That song made sense a lot, man. Listen, you spoke about Raucous Records on one of the lines you had, right? How nice was Raucous? Would y'all equivalent to Loud Records? Maybe, or that's a reach?
That's a good question. Loud was the mainstream Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Like Loud, Raucous was like, yeah. It's like a cousin. They got like a cousin relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
they had more platinum success, but it was the same energy. That's what it was.
Were you on the Sound Bombing one?
I was on Sound Bombing 1, 2, and maybe.
Yeah. Eminem was on there too and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love this song a lot, man. Would you do a video for this?
Which song?
Turnstile.
Oh, Turnstile, yo, I might. Once you said this Crooklyn Dollar shit, I just seen them on the promenade. I just seen Special Ed at Mass Days and Buckshot on the promenade. I was like, yo, we might have to recreate that.
Wow. And then you had the song Shamallah, right?
Yeah, Shalimar.
Shalimar with Golden Child Roscoe. It's just funny. I didn't even know he's the father of Kosher Nostra.
That's right. I got the father and son duo.
Father and son.
Yeah.
So, talk about Roscoe, man.
That's my guy. That's one of my favorite guys. That's one. I've had a lot of good times with Roscoe. That's my dad. That's the guy that I go to parties with. Our relationship extends beyond hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your relationship with Chino? Did you have a relationship with Chino XL?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Chino XL. He was such a good dude. One of the brightest lights we have in hip hop, and it was. I was on a text with him a lot because we were trying to organize him coming on my podcast. And so he was keeping me updated with his health, and I would get texts from him like doing better. He would send me pictures, and to be honest with you, I didn't even know what he was dealing with. Like I never was like, well, what do you have? What's going on? Right. You know, I'm whatever you want to tell me is what I'm gonna hear. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna probe, but I would just like go back and forth with him, and I was trying to link up with him, and then it was sudden. I didn't expect that because the last text I got from him was feeling much better. You know what I'm saying? But like, I miss him, and he was. I toured with Rebel Arms, who he's down with. More shout out to Mortal Technique and all of them, and there was conversations that we had and things that happened on the road that really endeared me to that brother.
Wow, man. Yeah, man. Wow. Then I hear a song called Steve Austin, right? So I'm like, okay. Now the first person I hear rapping on here is a young lady on here. I'm like, well, who is that? I've never, I listen to female rap. I put a song Papa Era Latif from Only Love. I love Rap City, Shay Norb. I like what's the new young lady I'm listening to now, Joski. I think her name Doski. I like Doji. She's fire. I text you right away. Like,
right away, yeah.
Who is this sister rapping?
Yeah.
And to your response and tell me, and you know what's funny? I stopped it because if I let it play, I would have got the ball when you said,
right.
I didn't get to your verse yet.
Yeah.
I stopped it right away because I'm like, I was captivated by how smooth her voice was.
Yeah.
Your response, sir, to tell me that was your daughter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
And you tell me, educate me, sir. Wow.
Yeah. Well, my daughter, shout out to Deani Ashe. She's my, and you know, she made me a grandfather this year. So
wow.
You know, shout out to
Right,
all the grandfathers out there.
Yes, sir.
She's beautiful. She's amazing. She sings. She rhymes. She makes beats. She, she's so Brooklyn too. She's so Brooklyn, and she that verse stopped me in my tracks. It stumped me. That was my verse on that song. Is one of the last verses I recorded for this album because I didn't know what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I almost just let it just be her because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say after that. I challenged myself, and I still think she might have got.
Well, challenged himself. Interesting. But
I think she might have got me on that song. You know what I'm saying? I still think as I did my thing. I say in my verse, I say some shit in that verse.
Her intro was very dope, though, sir. I'm not gonna hold you. She set it off lovely. She set it off lovely, but you know.
She the one. And shout out to my son Amani too, because she learned from him.
Wow.
Both of them was on the Liberation too with Madlib, and we, you know, like shout out to both of them.
Yeah, man. Wow. Are we gonna get a dad-daughter collaboration?
Man, I don't know. I've been floating this idea of I want to do a project called "You Gonna Respect the Greens" with all of us.
Okay.
So maybe
like that. Family affair, right? Okay. Yeah, my brother, I was thoroughly impressed with this project, man. I want to talk about the podcast life, man. I thoroughly enjoy your podcast because you're a hip hop dude, right? You're very intelligent, so I like how intelligent you sound, right? And then you incorporate how good you are and talk about music, right? And then all the guests you would have from Master Age to Almost Deaf and everything like that. What made you decide to go in that bag?
You asked about Ruckus earlier. Yes. Jared Meyer, who started Ruckus, he also started Up Rocks. So People's Party is a collaboration with Up Rocks. So it's funny because when I was on Ruckus, that was a collaboration with me and Jared, and then we spun the block and came back 20 years later and did the podcast together. So People's Party is, I guess, like the podcast with the Ruckus energy.
That's what it is. Okay. Are you still doing a podcast, or are you kind of like
we're on hiatus right now? We're trying to figure out. We switched distributors. We're trying to figure that play out. But so we haven't done episodes in a few weeks. But I don't know what we're going to do next. But we did one episode a week for 3 years. So part of what I like now is people are starting to catch up. You know, our podcast was deep. A lot of these podcasts just people talking about whatever the trendy subject is. There's not a lot of deep dives, and I'm not dissing that. I'm just saying this what it is.
No, you did deep dives. You did a lot of deep dives.
Yeah, like if you are so interested that people just want to hear you and your friends talk and chop it up and laugh at each other, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? My podcast is not that. My podcast is like, so it's like that became a little bit exhausting to have.
It's music, educational.
To deliver that amount of content.
Yeah, it's so much in one gumbo pot.
Yeah, if we was just sitting around, you know, like talking about whatever records out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's not your podcast.
Yeah, talking about, you know, Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, which, you know, and these are that. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's having a great.
Did he lie? Was he bullshit? Tyler, what do you think?
With the phone shit?
For him to say, he said he threw his Instagram with the phone in the bed. This is what he said.
Listen, I did that too, bro. And when I was a younger man, before I was nicer, before I fixed my life like a Yalin Van Zandt, I made those mistakes. That's a rookie mistake. That's old nigga shit. When you go on live by mistake, you never been on live before.
Well, to go on Instagram, Tyler, you got to press an icon.
Listen, I've gone on live by mistake before.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna get too much into my business because years ago I was a younger man, but I've mistakenly had my phone on when I was doing shit I shouldn't have been doing. Okay. That happens, you know what I'm saying? Gotcha. And that means you're doing too much, and that means it's time to fix your life.
What do you think about the Tiny Desk performances that's been going on? Have you watched those at all?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Tiny Desk. They need to have me up on there. They need to stop fronting on your boy. But yeah, I do enjoy Tiny Desk. I do.
I would like to move something on the blast.
Yeah. I'm gonna when you put this out, I'm gonna chop this up. I'm gonna send this to them.
Yes,
like,
please,
The streets want the Talib Kweli tiny desk.
Yeah. Do you like touring? You still like touring? You enjoy?
I like it. I like performing, and I like the fact that I can reach the audience. I'm getting tired as I get older of the wear and tear, you know.
Okay.
But I do like. I can't complain about it because most people don't get to tour. I tour whether I have a hit record or not. How can I complain about this?
That's dope.
I gotta big up the fans.
Wow, that's dope, my brother. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Explain to me in 2017, right? Because I did a show back in 2017, and I thought one of the most slept on albums was you and Styles P. I didn't see that happening, but I understood it because if you listen to Styles P, he always says he's a gangster, he's a gentleman, and when he has that hood stuff in him, but he still has that black conscious song.
That's right.
Called I'm Black and all that.
That's right. A lot of people, if they not paying attention, to miss that.
They missed that part. So when you guys linked up, you're like, yo, why is Talib? How does Talib? I said, bro, Talib's a Brooklyn nigga. Don't get it fucked up. He's a Brooklyn nigga.
And that's what I like about that album is that I feel like I brought out more the conscious side of him. He brought out more the Brooklyn in me. Yes. There's a good balance in that album lyrically. Yeah.
Did you expect the album to do it? I thoroughly enjoyed that project, bro.
Yeah, Styles P is a visionary, man. The Ghost, The Heart Is Out. I was working on a tour. And I was trying to think of someone who I could tour with who would bring in a different audience for me. I'm like, you know, I do these certain type of tours at theaters, but also a lot of the artists who have huge radio success, like at that era, at that era, it's changed now. But back in 2017, a lot of people you would hear like in the mix on the radio, these guys who have these club walkthrough records. They're not doing the theaters. They're not touring like I'm doing, but, you know, they'll walk through the club and get a bag and the DJ will be like such and such is here. And, you know, they'll get on the mic and rap over the vocals. That's different from what I do. And I felt like a lot of the bad boy and the major label artists who are more underground like me, they got caught up in that loop of having these radio records. And so I was like, I want to reach out. I'm like, I would love to tour with like a Jadakiss or a Styles P or a Fabulous or somebody like this. You know what I'm saying? And so when it was Styles P who said, yeah, but he was the visionary. He was like, if we do this tour, we should do an album first and we should tour the album. And so we said, okay, before we did the tour, we within 2 weeks, that album took 2-3 weeks to complete. We spent maybe 2 days in the studio together. Everything else was over email. I went up to Yonkers to where the Locks got the studio. And we knocked it out. We pulled up the beats, we laid the rhymes, and after we had 7 songs, and I was like, yo, it's the 7.
The 7. That was
you know what I'm saying? The first 7 songs we recorded, I was like, it's these 7. Because the tour was coming up. So I was like, it's these 7, the tour is the 7, the album's the 7. This is us.
That was a very solid project. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You've been very consistent since 2000, brother. Since 2000. Well, with Black Star, really, I gotta be honest with Black Star, to be honest with you, man.
Thank you.
Do you most of get tired of people talking about a Black Star album? Do you get tired of that conversation?
Not at all. It's a blessing. I cannot.
Okay.
And you know, we released the second Black Star album last year. We released it in a podcast app, Luminary. A lot of people found it difficult to leave their Spotifys and their titles and come to meet us where we were at. A lot of people complained about that, but I get it. You know, I do get it. But I also get the fact that I got paid. So y'all can complain as much as y'all want. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I'd rather get paid up front than be on the internet like, come on, y'all, please buy the album, because that's what I would have been doing. You know, and but the album is now available on Black Star Bandcamp.
Okay.
So if you want to hear it and buy it and support it, you can go to the Black Star Bandcamp. You could buy No Fear of Time, and it's available on vinyl as well. I'm not sure if the vinyl's out yet. If it's not out yet, it'll be out in like next day or 2.
Why you never did a video for Love Language?
You know, back then, videos.
The girl out my baby mom's. She used to love that song when I played it in the whip though.
That's a good one. Shout out to Les Nubians. You know, videos back then were a cheap video was $50,000. Back then, videos, you know, that was our era of the $1 million videos. Right. And so you couldn't just
like the Hype Williams era.
Williams era. So for Reflection Eternal, we did Move Something, which cost us about $150,000 for that video. We could do that video now for $500, but back then it was $150,000. Then we did The Blast with Little X. I think we gave Little X $400,000. We had a rain machine in that video, slow motion with the, you know, the video looks very good.
Yes,
you know, and so $400,000 $150,000. That's 500,000. That's my budget.
Yeah.
That my budget's going at that point. Ain't no more videos. You're done. You're done.
How did Jay get on Get By? Remix.
I ran into Jay-Z. He did a show with the Roots at Lincoln Center.
Okay.
Right when the Get By was out. And you know what? There's video of that on the internet somewhere. The day I met Jay-Z, there's video of that.
Right there. I gotta watch. I want to watch that.
Yeah, somewhere. And it's funny in that video. I was so nervous because I was such a fan. That was the era Jay was like, that's like 97 Rockefeller around that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, no, Get By came out 2002, but still, he was Jay-Z. He was Hove. You know what I'm saying? And I remember in the clip of us meeting, I say, you know what I'm saying, like 25 times. Like I'm like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, because I was nervous.
Right.
But we exchanged two-way page. You know, you had the two-way pager. You used to
Yeah.
hold it against the other dude's pager.
Yes.
We did that, and I was like, yo, can you get on this remix? He was like, yeah, send it to me. And I sent him the beat, and then I hit him like over the course of 3 months. I hit him like 3 times. Yo, following up. Any word on that verse? Don't mean to press you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be respectful to man time.
Right.
After like 3-4 months, I gave up. And then one day, I got a two-way from Jay-Z. It just simply said, what's your email address? I sent him the email address. 5 minutes later, the verse was in my email address.
So what's your reaction when you heard the verse?
I was at Platinum Island. I played it for Mos Def and Kanye. They were in the studio with me. And then I was like, okay, I wrote my first on the Jay-Z remix. You may not notice this. I only got 8 bars on that. On the version with Mos and Kanye, Mos got 24 bars. Kanye got 24 bars. Jay-Z got 16. Busta got 16. There's a 50 Cent version. There's a Snoop Dogg version. Snoop got 16. I got 8. And the reason why I got 8 is because I laid my first 8 bars, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna relax, go get some food, think about it, come back tomorrow, because I gotta nail it. It's gotta be right. I laid my 8 bars. Kanye laid his verse. Mos laid his verse. Kanye takes that from the studio to DJ Enough, and DJ Enough played it on the radio.
Wow. Damn.
So the version that came out, the first version was that version with my 8 bars, and I was mad at Kanye for that because I was like, yo, how I got 8 bars on my own remix? Everybody was so excited to the song was like the energy of the song at that time. And then Leo Cohen shut it down. It was a cease and desist. So that song has never really officially come out.
Wow.
Def Jam was like, nope, you cannot just have Rawkus can't just have a Jay-Z verse for free. And that was before. And so Jay-Z was like, okay, hold my beer. And then he became president of Def Jam. Because that was one of the things that happened where he didn't have control over what he wanted to do. I ran into Jay-Z around that time, and I knew I had to cease and desist, but I knew it wasn't Jay-Z's fault. And I said to Jay-Z, I said, yo, I want to thank you for not charging me to do that record. And he was like, what I charge would have been your whole recording budget. So I wasn't going to charge.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a flex.
A little flex, Jay.
He was like, are you? Nah, I wasn't going to charge you.
That's crazy. Let me go here right quick because I cover battle rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you were Ava at one particular time, had a back and forth though, right?
A particular time, he was tweeting about me 2 days ago. Particular time.
Where's these tweets coming from? Did you say something recently, or something happened?
Hey, listen, he has weird friends. That's the problem.
Okay.
And he let his friends' shenanigans have him acting emotionally in ways that he should not be acting. Okay. And full disclosure, I wasn't familiar with your channel because Verb and his weird friends be talk about me. You know how the algorithm sends you stuff, and I sent a video of you talking about Verb being mad at your interview with Hitman Holler.
Yes, yes.
And that's y'all business, but it sounds like him. You know what I'm saying? But
it's cool. We good.
Yeah, you know, like
yes.
So, but then I saw that in that video, you said you talked about interviewing Lupe Fiasco. And I gotta say right now, there's a tape of me going around when I was in St. Louis. I did a show and I said something about Lupe Fiasco that people might take out of context. They might think I'm dissing Lupe Fiasco because I said if you want a rapper who supports Trump, you might go to the Lupe Fiasco show. And the reason I said that was Lupe doesn't support Trump, as far as I know. Lupe's my man. What the video doesn't show was I was coming out for the encore. And when I walked out, somebody from the audience yelled out, "Do kick push." And I was like, I said, okay, I don't know if you trolling or you think I'm Lupe Fiasco.
Right.
I said, Kick Push is an amazing song.
Right.
Lupe's an amazing artist, but that's not my song. And so that's why I said, if you think that I'm somebody different, go to the Lupe Fiasco show. So it wasn't a diss to Lupe. It was just me. It was a callback to something that happened earlier. But essentially, man, like, look, the Averb thing, like I said earlier, I don't follow battle rap like that. I got respect for it. You know, I was back when it was like the Lux and Mook era. That's really when I was tapped in. There's been a lot more happened since then. And I know that from what I never heard Averb rap. I know that he's respected in the culture. From what I understand, he did some things in the Midwest and put St. Louis in the Midwest on the map in battle rap. Is that accurate?
That's a fact. Full fact.
Right, so this is stuff that I heard.
It's a full fact. I've been in 10 years in this culture. It's a full fact.
Right. And so I didn't know nothing about him. When I was on Instagram, I talk a lot of political stuff, and I make a lot of anti-Trump posts because I'm an anti-Trump guy. And so I think he's an existential threat. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. It's fine. You don't have to agree. You can just keep it pushing. But that's how I feel. So I would make these posts. And a lot of times people from all races, black, whatever, would come on my post and be upset and take to use the guy who I'm talking about, to use his own words. They would have objections to what I post, because this dude went on Math Hoffa's show and said I had objections to his posts, right? And even in the video where he comes to my show and tries to disrupt, he even says I made an objectionable comment. And so yeah, I made an anti-Trump post, and some dude I never heard of, Black Wall Street or whatever his name is, friend of Averb, I guess he used to manage Averb. I didn't know any of this at the time. He comes to my post and he objected to my anti-Trump post. Now listen, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not here to tell anybody to vote for. There are legitimate reasons. If you're someone who supports Palestine and you feel like Kamala and Biden administration response in Gaza is not up to snuff, I support your right to not support that administration, to not vote for them. You know, if you feel like they're not doing enough for the black community, I would never tell somebody you must vote Democrat. I'm not a Democrat.
Right.
But I am an anti-Trump guy. And if you come to my page and you object to my anti-Trump post, I'm gonna tell you get the fuck on.
Right.
Especially if you're a stranger. Like, I don't have time, I don't have the patience for that. And that's what I did to this young man. I was like, okay, whatever I said to him was get the fuck on. I think if I remember correctly, I said, you could support Trump if you want to. Just keep that shit off my page. And at that point, this guy in St. Louis, he took such offense to that he began to troll me. And he began to, on his page, it used to be like him supporting black businesses. But then his whole page, 7 posts in a row, was him dissing me. So every day, this guy from St. Louis who manages Averb, I never heard of, some stranger, would make a post dissing me. Now, my reputation, my resume when it comes to activist work is ironclad. You don't got to agree with all my stances. You don't like everything I've said and done. But if we're going to speak facts, just like I spoke facts about what Averb added to the culture, we going to speak facts about what I bring to the culture.
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to humble myself in your presence because you were insecure about yourself. I'm going to let you know that I'm that nigga. I'm that guy when it comes to this shit. I don't feel the need to pretend I'm not me. Right. And I don't feel the need to educate you if you show up with disrespect. Math brought this up. He was like, why, when people come and troll you or when people come and object to what you point, you know, you have all this knowledge. Why would you not educate them? Because fuck you. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't deserve. My parents is teachers.
Yes, I know that. Yes,
teachers deserve raises and don't get paid enough. Why would I educate you for free?
Your mom was an English professor, I believe, right?
Yeah, Medgar Evers College.
Yeah, your mom was administrator at Delphi University, right?
My father was at Delphi.
Yes.
And so the idea that because you object to something I say, that I need to now treat you with respect and educate you. You a grown ass man, dog. You could just not scroll. You could scroll past. You could just not like you don't gotta like what I have to say. At the point when you make it your business to come on my page and object publicly, then I'm gonna put you in that camp, like it or not, and you don't have to like it.
Right.
You can scream all you want. I'm not a Trump supporter. Well, if you're not a Trump supporter, stop getting mad at niggas who don't like Trump. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Stupid. You know what I'm saying? So what this guy does is he tags a verb.
Yes.
He also tags Ali from St. Lunatics, because I suppose they have a relationship too.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these niggas took this bait. And both of them, Ali didn't take it to where a verb took it. Ali made a couple little questionable comments and left it. Ali kind of a troll anyway. I kind of expected that from him. Mm-hmm. But a verb took it to the next level on some, you got 24 hours to respond, and this is the city, and this is St. Louis. And keep in mind, I never heard a verb rap at all. I don't know nothing about him. I remember when the dude tagged a verb, and this is, I got to learn. Remember I said I have a romantic idea of what rap is? Yes. This is one of the examples. When dude tagged a verb, I said, a verb ain't going to step in and have your back. Grown-ass niggas who secure in themselves don't do that. Fight your own battles. Lo and behold, I was wrong. The next video he put up was a video of him, a verb dissing me. And I'm like, oh, I was wrong.
Right.
I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong, that I give niggas too much credit. Mm-hmm. I gave these niggas too much credit. So then I would encourage anybody who's interested in this to go watch what they said about me on PSAhiphop. It's like Kamala versus Trump at the debate. I don't got to say nothing. I'll let you speak, because the way that you tell the story, you sound wrong. Mm. They went up there and they said, Kweli be bullying people. Bullying who? I don't know y'all niggas. I didn't come to y'all page. Y'all came to my page.
My page, right.
How am I bullying you by being on my page saying some shit that has nothing to do with you? You feel bullied because I don't like Trump? What's that say about you? This is the words they use. They went up there, he bullies people. He's mean to people on the internet. The nigga Champ, who now we see he be stealing credit cards and all this, I don't know this nigga at all. He said he's sitting in the room with PSAhiphop podcast talking about, I didn't like how Kweli walked past me at the Roots concert. This the type of niggas y'all is? Y'all mad because I don't like Trump. Y'all mad because y'all can't control my mouth. Y'all can't silence my voice. Y'all mad because you can't come to my platform in my house and tell me that I should agree with you without me being like, fuck you.
Right.
You mad because I walk by you. Like, what's going on here? What's really good? Like, what I had to understand is to not take it personal, is that it's all a projection. It's all a projection. It has nothing to do with me. When I did my research on a verb, because I wrote rhymes about him, and I said them to my friends, and we all laughed. You know what I'm saying? I said this on Math Show too. I'm gonna say it because just I have such a high respect for battle rap.
Yes.
For me to jump in that arena, I see the preparation that goes into it. I don't have the time.
The boys go hard, Talib. They go hard. I
don't have the time, because you know what? I spend my time making songs. I spend my time doing tours. Right. I spend my time, doing the families. You have to dedicate your life to that, to be at that top tier level. Yes. You have to research. You have to know. You have to research other battles, other rappers stuff. There's a language and there's a code. For me, and
to their credit, they have to make new raps every trip.
That's right. That's right. It's a highly fine-tuned skill.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not stepping in. There's no way I'm stepping into that arena without months of preparation. I feel like if I prepared for months, I could compete in that arena. Okay. But not without that preparation.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck? I gotta battle you because your man don't like that I like Trump. That's stupid. Yeah. But I say all that to say that when I researched Aver,
yes, sir,
he thinks he's Kevin Samuels. This guy thinks he's the Kevin Samuels of battle rap. He do little videos where he bring women on and he tell women why they wrong. And then I seen the one video. I'm not gonna make light of this. I'm gonna speak. Right. I feel like because he spoke on it. Right. He got this issue where he told this older woman, that he felt like she had taken advantage of him as a child. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I was watching this video, which I wouldn't have cared before. Why is this even in my life? But now I'm watching this video, and I'm not making light of anybody that went through that, right? But what I noticed was he said to the girl in the video, he said, "You the reason why I think all women are bitches and hoes." Mm. And that's very toxic, brother. Like all women, that's a generalization. And what I see the way when I watch his battles with women, and the way he talks about women. Like, this guy got a problem with women that stems from something deep.
Well, he doesn't beat none of the ladies though. He loses every film he's bad. He's lost to.
Yeah, I noticed that as well because he's in his feelings. I seen the one where he was talking about Jada Pinkett and all that.
It went viral. It went viral, but he still lost.
It's cringe because it's like, yo, bro, like, and all his when he went on Math Hoffa, he said Talib Kweli can't compete in this arena because he's not a demon like I am. He don't got them demons like I got. I'm quoting this man verbatim. He said he's not a dog like us. Now I get it. You're being hyperbolic. You don't actually mean you're a demon. You don't actually mean you're a dog. But we're rappers, right? We lyricists, right? So if we lyricists, words have power, brother. Words have power. You're not a demon. You a god. You're not a dog. You a god. That's a dog backwards. Why you? You're saying what you're saying is you're a demon and you're a dog, and I'm not like you. I agree, my nigga. And that demon dog shit is why you have a problem with women. It's why when in this battle with him and Hitman Holla, I can't tell what the problem is. It's too St. Louis, too battle rap, I can't tell really with this guy was I wanted the lower price. I tried to understand it. I don't understand it. But you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. It seems, I don't know. But
I'm in the culture and I still don't get this shit.
I heard a clip where a verb was saying something about I have the words no emotions tattooed on me to remind myself to never be emotional. That's toxic. We're all emotional creatures. If you don't have emotions,
he reads the 48 powers of the law, and that's in Brady.
Yeah. He thinks he's Robert Greene. Listen, we are emotional creatures. Our emotions is what gives us compassion. If you wasn't emotional, you wouldn't be such a good battle rapper, my nigga. Like, it's your emotions that give you the passion to even be this dope at what you do. So you have emotions. You trying to cut yourself from emotions, that's why you run into all these problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for you to pretend that you don't have emotions, and you really the most emotional nigga out.
Yes,
this nigga's voice be sound like Wendy Williams and everything. His emotions be getting the best of him, and that's what it is. And so that's the issue with him. I don't have a beef with him. I don't actually. This is not. He never did nothing wrong to my people. He's not. We don't have. There's no street beef. There's no nothing. But I did the show in St. Louis, and his man who started all this shows up at the show. Now you disrupting me at work. Right, I haven't spoken about this in over a year. I said I don't care. Shout out to my man Tory Russell. He's in the house. I met him when I was in Ferguson. I did activist work in Ferguson. I'm endeared to that community. Shout out to man Tef Poe, who I brought on stage. So I'm on stage at the City Winery in St. Louis, bringing St. Louis rappers to the stage, and they talking about local politics and all this and all that. I'm doing Get By, performing Get By. I got images of Palestinians and Angela Davis and Nina Simone, and it's a beautiful situation. And this dude in the audience just staring at me hating. And I saw him in the audience. I'm like, that's Aver manager, but I'm like, he's allowed to be at the show. I'm not going, whatever.
Right.
And I went backstage and see these guys have never got an encore before. They don't know what it feels like to get an encore. So he thought when the show ended, it was over. No, nigga, they gonna cheer my name and I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? So I went into my dressing room because St. Louis is such a small city and this guy knows a lot of people. He made his way to my dressing room. This is a guy who was being threatening to me on the internet. This is a guy who made videos about me with people who are threatening my children. Wow. Now this man is in my dressing room uninvited, without permission, and this is my space. He in my dressing room, and he comes up to me, he puts his hand out. Now, I wanted to hit him, and I would have been within my rights to hit him.
Right.
You in my space, you're not invited here. This is a breach. But you got your hand out. Maybe you want to apologize. Maybe you want to reconcile. I don't know the energy. And I do business with this venue. I got more shows with these venues. We have a fight backstage. The audience didn't come here for that. I got other St. Louis rappers in the house. I'm thinking all of this through. And I shook his hand. I thought all that through. I paused for a second because I ain't trust him. I shook his hand. And he said, "You don't know who I am." I said, "I know exactly who you are. You that nigga who be trolling me on the internet." He said, "That's not true." I said, "That's exactly true. That's exactly what you be doing." He said, "That's not true." I said, "That's exactly true." He said, "Well, I didn't come here for all that. I came here to reconcile." And I said, "Well, this is not how you do that, brother. You don't just walk up in my dressing room like that. You're not invited here. As a matter of fact, you're not welcome here. And I gotta go back on stage. So I left him in my dressing room, which is my space, to go back and do my job for the St. Louis audience. But I was so heated at the audacity for him to do that I spoke about it on stage. And as I'm spoken about it, he started jawing with me back and forth from the audience. And if you go watch his video, he say, "Give me a mic." Nigga, no one paid to hear you on a mic. So think about this.
Right.
This dude who I've never met before comes to my page, is upset that I posted something about Trump, objects to it. I'm using his words so he don't get mad. Objects to it. I tell him fuck off. He then makes several videos dissing me. He tags other rappers. He gets other rappers to diss me. They all go on Drink Champs. They all have a cry whine session about how terrible of a person I am. I don't do nothing. You don't see me making no diss records. You don't see me talking about it. I'm keeping it movie. Then you come to my show while I'm at work. You make it your business to come into my personal space. Then when I'm on stage, you going back and forth talking about give me the mic. Bro, that's some Selena Stalker shit, my nigga. Like, why?
It's funny because his man did that to you, right?
What's that?
His man came to your line of work and did that, right?
Yeah.
Averb is tagging Hitman Hollins, Nick Cannon, wilding out and saying some wild shit. So I can just see how this whole thing works.
It's very emotional. Like, why you're so invested in what I do? And how in this world, how in this world am I the threat? How am I your cause? Do you cause the celebrity, whatever the word is, the French term for this shit? How the fuck am I the one that, you know what, we need reparations. You know what, the economy is terrible. You know, we have there's fascism on the rise. But you know what, Kweli needs to be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does your brain get there? And these guys want my spot. They don't understand why I'm respected in the way I'm respected. And because I speak about social justice and they don't do shit, it makes them feel worthless. And so they're just projected.
So let me give you the backstory of Averb and the culture, how we look at him, right? You gotta remember now, as a New Yorker, right? Only artists in St. Louis that we know about is Chingy, Nelly, Jaquan, and the St. Lunatics, right? And I'm not gonna say the most lyrical dudes in the world, right? I respect what Nelly and them did for hip hop culture, right?
Wait, I want to add a point that I thought of earlier. I want you to finish your point, but to your point,
yes,
this is the problem with some of these battle rappers who get on this. I could beat this guy and I could beat this guy. When it comes to making just why I say I don't have time for that. I'm not dissing it. When it comes to making songs, some of the best hip hop songs that have ever been made have been made by people who couldn't rap well at all. So being a lyricist is not a prerequisite for having a dope song. That's just one part of it, and a lot of times that don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if your focus is just on being lyrical, you don't focus at all on the songwriting part of it. You're not going to be able to compete in my arena. The same way that I said I can't compete in that arena without practice. You can't come to the Talib Kweli stage. You can't come to my show. You can't. You're not gonna get what I get, and you're not gonna be able to do what I do in this arena because I'm a lyricist that learned how to become a songwriter.
Yeah, because I think each arena is kind of difficult if you're not doing it on a consistent basis, right? So battle rap, the one thing about battle rap, the cadence and the flow pockets, you have to have that, right? I think Joe Budden had a little struggle. Cannabis had a little struggle.
You're talking about when they jumped in that arena,
right? When they jumped in that arena, right? I remember speaking to Banks and Papoose at one time, and they were like, I love battle rap, but I don't think I want to tap into that. Yeah. And yourself, you respect that though, right? So Averb has been what we call the 50 Cent of battle rap, the villain, one of the first villains of battle rap, right?
He's a heel.
He's a heel, very much a heel, right? Even though he's moving like a fucking weirdo right now, he's still in my Mount Rushmore battle rap because a conversation we alluded to earlier, where he met for the Midwest movement. And when New York, it was just New York battling each other. When Smack made URL, right? It was the Midwest versus New York. That was the biggest thing of battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And I was a part of that and shit like that. He was one of the head niggas in charge, the mouthpiece,
right,
for the Midwest, right? I think throughout the years, what he's done is he was like a Suge Knight of battle rap. the Death Row Suge Knight at one time,
right?
Niggas not scared of Suge Knight no more.
Right.
It's over. So
it's like if Suge Knight showed up with gentrification dreads.
You know what I'm saying, Talib? So in 2024, Suge Knight is not 1991. We know bro and shit. Them days are over. So when you chirping the way he's chirping, it's almost like you have insecurity baby mama issues, in my opinion, respectfully. He got mad. Listen, Verbis was my guy. I still fuck with him, even though I blocked him and shit. But I still got love for him, right? But he got mad at me because I interviewed his adversary, Hitman Holla. Mind you, Hitman Holla is a battle rapper, has a battle rap event coming up, right? When I had Hitman on the show, Talib, I'm over 40-something years of age. I asked Hitman Holla, y'all can't make up and squash this shit? I wasn't enticing no beef.
Right.
It makes me think, this nigga really sit back and watch my interview? Or you just mad because I had the nigga on the show and it said title, Hitman Holla addresses A-Verb also. He didn't.
I get it. Like you said, that's your man, like your friend, right?
No, not my friend.
Just an acquaintance in the battle.
Straight block, battle rap.
I get it. Like, you know, me and Math, when Math had A-Verb on, we had private conversation that we talked about in public on his platform later. But I was hot because, and Math defended me against A-Verb. I like that. But I was like, yo, to me, I was like, yo, even you having them goofy niggas on. You know what I'm saying? Like but that was me, like, that was a private conversation. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to the internet like, that's not true. That's not true. I did it on the internet, but I did it in a jokey way.
Right.
Like I did it with Math, like, yo, you see this? This your man's? Like with the laugh emojis. Like, nah, I'm not serious about it. But I did hit him on a private, like, there's certain ways in which I didn't like the optics. I'm like, yo, Math did defend me. But it was 4 dudes up there who was talking shit about me.
Right.
So the optics of it, even though I was like, I know your heart, the optics look like, why would you even do that show? That looks like the Kweli show. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's me and my feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, you can't be really mad about that shit.
Right. Exactly. So you get mad at me and I start acting like a weirdo, then going in Twitter spaces, trying to insult me and talking about, trying to use words like you trying to like suck. That's not going to work, my nigga. Like, and the funny thing about it is this: we've always had a relationship. We crack on each other, right? But it's never been disrespectful. That's why I'm the coach. It's like, oh, 3, I'm glad you stand up. Like, what you mean? He's using different.
Yeah, I saw the comments on your page when you posted that video. It was like, you finally stood up. I was like, what is going on?
Yo, but Talib, this is what I'm saying about this culture. We've always said a lot of wild shit to each other, but within the last couple of days, it's been very disrespectful. When you start using cock buffing words, right? I don't like the cock buff. I'm from a Caribbean household, right? I'm half Jamaican, half Trinidadian. I don't do the cock buffing shit because you got a problem with this. I don't give a fuck about your problems, to be honest, right?
Right.
I'm going to ask him about you at some point during the interview. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga just been acting weird the last couple of days, and it's kind of sad to see a 40-year-old grown man act like that.
I think I overheard. Is he a grandfather?
I got on the character last night, back on Twitter, going back and forth to them, but I felt I had to because this nigga just be doing a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, just to tie up the ends, because I wanted with his man who started all this with me.
Yes.
I'm about communication and community. If that man intentions was to come and reconcile with me, one that starts with apology. That's mincing words, right? If that man's intention was to come apologize, reconcile, however you want to say it, I believe that his energy would have reflected that, and I believe that I would have been down with that. And there's a way to do that. And we had mutual people. If he had come to Tori or Tepo and them, said, I want to holler at Kweli about this misunderstanding, I would have sat down and spoke to him. But if you look at the video he posted a video of him walking into the venue. And the video of him walking into the venue was him like, yo, we about to see if Kweli gonna stand on business. I'm about to press this nigga. It's my city. All right, so
grown ass men. That's
right. That's the energy you showing up to my job with. This is my job. This is like me. If you worked at UPS and me showing up, yo, I'm about to press you while you moving these packages, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, yeah.
And so this is why God works in mysterious ways. This is why one of the reasons why I'm not on the internet. Had I been on Instagram, I would have seen that video before he showed up. I would have checked his page and I would have checked A-Verb page before I got to the city. But because I'm not on the internet, because I didn't care, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But had I seen that video before he put his hand out, that would have been a problem. That would have led to violence. That would have led to a real misunderstanding, because I know from your video, you showing up here with bad intentions.
Right.
You showing up here on some aggressive energy, and I need to meet you where you at. Because I didn't see that video when he shook his hand, and so I'm glad everything happens for a reason. We needed to be safe. I don't want nothing to happen to that man. I don't want nothing to happen to me. But it would have gone down had I seen that video.
Remember, I told you this. You were on Mac's show talking about the A-Rub situation, right? I don't know if he made a comment about this, right? He's gonna see this. He's gonna clip this up and say we're going against him. Conspiracy. I know A-Rub moves and shit like that. The ops are linking up. So
it's because I've been very gracious. You know what I'm saying? Like
me too. I've got this and that.
You have been gracious as well. Ain't nobody telling no lies.
He's still a goat, but he did some weirdo shit that I'm not feeling. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it spade. You get mad. Think about this. You didn't get mad at Matt for having Talib over there, but you're gonna get mad at having Talib over here. You're gonna get mad at me for having Hitman over here, but you're not gonna get mad at some other battle rappers.
I think from what I just came from St. Louis, and without getting too deep in it, it seems like whatever's going on down there with them two is a little deeper than what me and him have. Me and him is some internet shit.
It's way deep. Yeah. That we don't know about though. But you know what? Kendrick Lamar had a particular line on Meet the Grams, man. Take that mask off. I want to see what's under those achievements. And then he had another line: the skin that you living in is compromising personas. Can't channel your masculine even when you're standing next to a woman.
Yeah, man. All that I gotta say, man. I know a lot of niggas on the internet is gonna get mad at me when I say this.
All right.
But all that Andrew Tate, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the brother, but all that energy that like men is being picked on and men's rights activists and I'm the dominant one. That's sucker shit. I'm sorry, it's sucker shit. That shows me that you are insecure as a man. No secure man behaves this way. None. And man, we got to cut that out because we as black men, we can't afford that. The other communities, they can afford that. They have the resources, and we can't afford to be going this hard on our women and treating our women this way. You know what I'm saying?
In agreement.
Yeah.
I don't call sisters bitches and hoes. That's not really my cup of tea. I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's not even what I give up though, man. But Talib, man, what do you have going on that we should be looking out for?
Man, I appreciate this interview, man. This has been been very. We've covered a lot of bases. I appreciate you showing love to the album. That means a lot.
Yes, sir.
I'm leaving from here. I'm gonna go film a video in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly to Alaska. I got a DJ gig at Anchorage, Alaska. Then I meet De La Soul.
DJ gig? A DJ
gig? Yeah, I'll be DJing.
Okay.
Gotta get all the revenue streams. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Victoria, British Columbia with De La Soul. I got City Winery, Pittsburgh, City Winery, Philadelphia coming up. I'm gonna be touring the UK. I'm on tour for the rest of the year.
Wow, my brother.
Australia with the Roots for New Year's. We're doing it. I'm doing Good Day New York next week. We're gonna perform. Just trying to spread the word so that the people like you can hear. That's why I'm on your show, because like you said I wasn't tapped in. When I saw your show and I saw the other interviews, I was like, this is the type of person I need to reach out to and tap in.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. I mean that from you. I mean that sincere. I appreciate that.
Talib,
man, we gotta do this again, my brother. I appreciate you, man.
One love,
my brother. Shout out to my brother Talib Kweli, Brooklyn, the fucking